Today we're going to do the most complete review of the Ninja Foodi Max Dual Zone Air Fryer. This is, in my view, one of the most versatile one in the market. It's a 9.5 liter equally sized basket. It's a name you can trust. And in this review, we're going to dig down just to make sure that the money you're going to be spending is for the right machine. Let's start off to discuss what you get in the box when you buy one of these. So first of all, you get the manual. This is the cooking manual, really. And you got a variety of recipes to give you ideas of how you can use the air fryer, as well as a little cheat sheet about the most common things that you would normally use, so that you know what setting to put, you know what temperature to put, you know what time to put. Of course, I find that personal taste is a huge factor, like anything in cooking. So, this gives you a guideline, and then you do you. Of course, it comes with a big manual, although all the stuff you need really is also repeated here. All of them come with the drawer, the divider here, and my one came also with this raising tray, which not all of them have it, and this fashionable apron. So that's all you get. Of course, there are extra accessories you can buy afterwards, and you do you. The first thing we need to discuss is build and quality. This uses premium plastics with a metal finish, and it's got an aesthetically modern design which fits in most kitchens. The total capacity is 9.5 liters and is equally spaced in the two drawers. And what that means is that you can have a big chicken on one side, for instance, and your side dishes on the other. So it's perfect for a family of 4 to 6 because you can cook a hell of a lot of food with this air fryer. The control panel is easy to read, digital display with a nice little turn knob. The buttons have a really nice feel to it, and all the functions are clearly labeled. The drawers are made from non-stick material and are machine washable for ease of use. I actually always wash it by hand because it takes 2 seconds anyway, but if you want to throw it in the machine, it's there. It comes with this divider. This allows the air to go underneath and cook evenly your dish. And my one also came with this extra tray which you put above, and it kind of adds a double layer in your drawer. You can cook even more things. One thing to note though is that even though these air fryers are very good at circulating the air, you're going to have the stuff at the top which is going to get more heat than the one at the bottom. So a good way of using this is, for instance, when you already know that things cook at a different pace. So for instance, chicken breast at the top, a little bit of vegetable at the bottom, and you time it that way. Otherwise, you just need to turn around. But it basically increases the volumes by double. Now let's talk about the main feature. This is a dual zone. What does that mean? That you can cook 2 different things at the same time. So you can choose one setting for what's on tray number 1 and another setting what's tray number 2. And in order to even further facilitate what you're trying to make, they've got 2 really nifty functions. The one of which I like the best is the sink. The sink allows for you to cook 2 different things. So let's imagine a chicken that you want to cook for an hour, and then you got some potatoes that you need to cook for 40 minutes, and you don't want to think about making sure that they end at the same time. What you do is that you preset the left tray, you preset the right tray, you put sink, and then the air fryer times it so that they're all ready at the same time, which I thought it was pretty cool. And then of course you got the match, which is basically allows you to set on the left and then press match, so it automatically already sets you on the right, the exact same feature, which is also quite handy. This air fryer has got a huge amount of settings, which really allows you to do so many things. It cooks as low as 40 degrees Celsius to as high as 240 degrees Celsius. And that means that you can do slow cooking, dehydration, as well as air frying or frying from frozen. And the settings allow you to optimize for that specific cooking time. You got 6 cooking settings which optimize not only the temperature, but also the air vent, which in this air fryer you cannot manually change it yourself, but you can adjust it through the settings. And let's quickly go through the settings, how they're used, and what actually the machine does for all of them. And I'm going to read them because my memory is not that great. First one, max crisps. That's designed for rapid and high temperature cooking, such as chips directly frozen or chicken nuggets. Basically anything which is frozen, you just chuck it in here. That setting launches the fan at maximum speed and it cooks at 240 degrees Celsius. So basically it's the booster of settings in the air fryer. Then you got the air fryer setting. That's a healthier version of frying. It circulates hot air around the food so that you get the maximum crisp without using too much oil. And it's used for when you make fries, chicken wings, or vegetables. Then of course you got the roasting. In the roasting, the air vent creates a uniform heating and replaces your normal kitchen oven, and it's fantastic for things like a whole chicken or even vegetables there as well. And for instance, when you make chicken, you'll see that it takes about half the amount of time that you would normally use in a kitchen oven, so that's pretty handy when we're hungry, right? Bake, of course, is used for when you make cakes or when you make bread. Again, the fan has a consistent distribution, softer than the air fryer or max crisp, and that setting is amazing for when you make small batches, things like biscuits or little bread rolls or like a focaccia. We've done that a few times, haven't we? And then you got the reheat setting, which is a setting you think you might not need, but actually is pretty amazing, because when you reheat things like a pizza, if you do it in the microwave, it becomes soggy and pretty gross. This one instead warms up your food, but without making it too dry. So it's got quite a static air vent that allows for the food to heat up and maintain some of that crunchiness. Therefore, your second experience is not that far off from the first time you had that food. I was surprised by the amount of time I've used reheat, and I've completely abandoned using the microwave to warm up leftovers. And last but not least is another function that you think you might not use very much, but I found myself that I use it all the time. Well, okay, all the time is a bit of an overstatement, but basically it's the dehydrate. Dehydrate allows you to, dehydrate. So I've done, for instance, chili. It's great when you buy lots of chili, you dehydrate them in a few hours and then you use it for your cooking. I've also dehydrated oranges for when you make cocktails. Now it's approaching Christmas, so it's great. So when so it's a great way actually of preserving. When you overbuy stuff at the supermarket, you dehydrate it and you can use it for later. So across the function, the main selling point is the fact that there is consistent, uniform cooking. So everything you cook will turn out consistent time and time again. It's also energy efficient. It takes about half the time, the majority of the stuff you cook, so things are much quicker, and as a consequence you also use much less energy. And it's also very user-friendly to cook, so if you're not a confident home cook, this will allow you to do a lot of dishes that you would not have otherwise attempted to do, because it's so easy to just cook with this thing. And it's also super easy to maintain, because washing this stuff, apart that is dishwasher safe, I usually use it by hand, but it honestly takes 2 seconds. You're just washing a tray and you're not making a mess at all in the kitchen. You also don't make a mess when you cook things that generally are a bit smoky. Say you want to cook a burger for the kids. When you do it in the kitchen, you smoke up the kitchen. When you do it here, there's no smoke that comes out. So from my user experience, cleaning up, life-changing. But now let's talk about the negatives. It is a pretty large machine. It does occupy a large amount of counter space, so for people that don't have that much space, this might be a problem. Also at the back there are air vents. That means that you need to maintain a good distance between the back of the machine and your wall, because that's where the hot air goes out, and then you need to allow to have that circulation to go. The other thing is that, like anything, there is a small learning curve. To be fair, in air fryers, nice things, and the reason why many people like it is because the learning curve is quite flat, but you need to get used to the temperature, how you position things in the trays. There are, of course, a few tricks and tips, which probably be one of my later videos, but you need to learn how to optimize your cooking to make fantastic results. But once you do that, the quality of the result is extremely high. Now, the other con is also the price. Ninja is a premium brand, therefore the price is premium. You got situations like Black Fridays, which is happening right now. I bought this last year, where prices are considerably lower, so I advise you maybe take those opportunities to do it. But this is a machine that really changes your evening routine, especially when you have kids or even when you're alone, because basically you can cook without making a mess, which is a huge positive. So overall, I think this is a great machine. I'm super happy with it. It's perfect for a family of, we are 4, but also when my parents come to visit, we become 6. It's perfect, cleans well, cooks well. It's a big thumbs up for me. I hope the review was useful. I hope you start cooking with air fryers, because they're a lot of fun. And if you enjoyed the video and you thought it was useful, please put a thumbs up. It's always good to have thumbs up and comments in our videos. It helps our channel to grow. And if you like to see Italian cooking, well, then maybe subscribe. Okay, ciao.